My paddle adapter just came in the mail, and today we're going to unbox it and we're going to show you guys how to set this up. Alright, let's see what's in the box. Let's see what we get. Just gonna actually comes really well packaged. It's in a nice cardboard box. Everything looks to be no issues with the shipping. This was sent out on a Wednesday. I got it on a Friday. It is coming from Vermont, so something to note. But yeah, if you order it, I'm sure you're gonna get it pretty quickly here thereafter. And man, they taped it up pretty good. So as we unpackage this, you're gonna see, man, they do a good job with keeping everything. You want to make sure that you get this in good condition. So they have, packing material all over. First thing I'm noticing right away is going to be your paddle shaft. Inner tube, and we got some extra cord. We got support brackets. We have the lower parts for it right here. This is the main part for the upper part of it, and then the sliding pulley right there. And your assembly instructions. So the first impressions, this is very well packaged. There's no issues with the packaging, and there's really not that many parts that we have to work with. Now we're gonna get into the nitty-gritty of actually getting this set up, but first impressions, I'm really impressed with this. To be able to use the paddle adapter, you're going to need one of these. This is a Concept 2 rowing erg. If you're unfamiliar with the Concept 2, leave a comment below and I can do another video just on this machine alone. For this installation, you're going to need a 7/16 wrench and a 9/16 wrench, or you can also use an adjustable wrench or a socket wrench if you so choose. The first step in this process is going to be first removing the handle from the rower itself. So you see here I have a 7/16 wrench, and I'm just undoing each of the nuts, and we're going to take the handle right off, and then we're going to also take the U-shaped bolt off, and we're going to replace that with a pear-shaped connector. This is a pear-shaped connector that we're going to be using to actually connect the rest of the stringing from the paddle adapter to it. We're just going to let this up into the upper part, and you're going to notice that it's not going to go all the way in the machine. We are now going to put the front mass base onto the rower, and you're going to see we're going to put it a little bit lower than it's normally going to sit when we use it, but this is going to make the installation a little bit easier. I also took off the comfort knob on the one side, which you see in my right hand there, and that just made it a little bit easier. Now we're just going to tighten up both the wing nut and the comfort grip to tighten the front mass base onto the machine, so that way it makes it a little bit easier for this next step. The next thing we're going to be doing is installing the front mass trolley onto the front mass base. This makes it really easy when you already have this set up on the rower. This is why they suggest that you do it this way, and just makes it go really easy. Once we're all tightened up here, we're going to be attaching the stabilizer rods,
and you want to make sure you put it in just a little bit into that bottom part before you attach it to the top part. But then you're going to tighten it up. You want to make sure you're tightening up both rods equally so they're not tighter on one side than they are on the other. When you're done, it should look like this. And this is just a little detail of where the nuts go on. Now that we have the front mass assembly put together, we're going to undo it from the rower and we're going to slide it up so it goes all the way against that part where it's the guard for the chain of the rower. It's very important to have this all the way up when you are using the paddle adapter. You don't want it down where we initially installed it. Now that the front mass is all set, we move on to the rear mass. We're setting this up at 19 inches from the plastic seat stop of the rower. That's what that piece of tape is. I was told 18 to 20 inches is the sweet spot for this, and you want to make sure you're tightening this down really tight. Alright, now we're all ready and set to take the traveling pulley and attach it to the rowing chain. So what we will do is we need to take the rowing chain, like you see here, and bring it over the white pulley on the front mass. You don't want to go below that pulley. Then we're going to take the pear-shaped connector off. We're going to attach the traveling pulley to the pear-shaped connector, and we're going to put it on the small part of the pear-shaped connector, and the chain is going to go on the large part of the pear-shaped connector. You want to make sure that you tighten the pear-shaped connector all the way, because if you don't, there's a possibility of it coming undone and stretching out as you paddle is there. Now also make sure you can see that my strings are not twisted, but if they are twisted, you can just actually twist the swivel on the chain to make sure that they aren't crossed over, as you don't want that. The last part of the setup is getting your seat all set. So they give you two bike inner tubes to do this, which is pretty easy way to do it. So basically you're going to take the inner tube and you're going to wrap it around the base of the rower where the seat normally slides. This is going to prevent it from sliding forward or backwards. That's why they give you two. You want to make sure you have one on the front and on the back. You want to set your seat up so you have just a slight bend in your knee, and your feet are going to be on the floor, and you're going to just rest your feet on the foot pads of the rower, but not actually in the rower. This way it gives you a nice easy setup, and you're going to see me checking this out right here. And then you're going to do the back as same as you did the front. You're going to smush them together to make sure that the seat doesn't move at all. And that is it. You are now have your rower all fully set up.
Alright, now your paddle adapter is fully set up and it's ready for you to use. In upcoming videos, I'm going to be showing you what we can get with this paddle adapter using the Concept 2 and the performance monitor, which is probably the best monitor that I've seen on equipment like this. And we're going to show you off-season workouts that you can be doing using this, and we got a lot of other interesting content coming up. So stay tuned, subscribe so you're always updated when I upload new videos. Until next time guys, paddle hard.